Today we would like to look at more examples of how to remove brackets from algebraic expressions, and also we will simplify if possible. Let us look at the first question. It says minus 2 bracket x plus y. We want to remove these brackets and then simplify if possible. Remember, in our last class we discussed that when we multiply like signs like this, positive times positive is going to give us positive. Negative times negative is going to give us positive, right? And then we said if we multiply on like terms, it's going to give us negative, such as this. Positive times negative gives you negative. Negative times positive gives you negative. Remember that. Okay, now let's come back here to remove this bracket. Okay, now we know that to remove this bracket, we're going to use the distributive property. You're going to have negative 2. It's going to be multiplying x, and also negative 2 is going to be multiplying out positive y, that's plus y, right? So now how do we go about that now? So now you're going to have negative 2 times x. We know that having an x here means you have an invisible plus, right? That means negative times positive is going to give you negative. Negative times positive gives you negative, right? Because they are unlike signs. So that's going to be minus or negative. 2 times x is going to give you 2x. So now I have negative 2x. Okay. Now this negative 2 is going to multiply this positive y now, right? So negative times this positive, they are unlike signs, is going to give you negative. 2 times y is going to give you 2y. This is your final answer. This is going to be negative 2x minus 2y. We cannot simplify this because they are unlike terms. Okay, very good, guys. Let us take a look at another example right here. Example 2 says negative 4n bracket 3m plus 2. Now how do we solve this up? It's still going to be the same approach. We want to open up this bracket. To open up this bracket, this negative 4n is going to multiply 3m, and also it's going to multiply positive 2 right here. Okay, now let us look at it. So this is going to be negative 4n times 3m. Remember, 3m means positive 3m, right? So negative times positive is going to give you negative. We already established that negative times positive gives you negative because they are unlike signs. 4n times 3m. 4 times 3 is 12, right? So that's going to be 12mn. 4n times 3m will give you 12mn, right? Very good. Now the next one is to multiply negative 4n by plus 2. Okay, how do you do that? Again, it's going to be negative times this positive. It's going to be negative, okay, unlike signs. 4n times 2, that is going to give you 8n. Very good. Now we have been able to remove the bracket. Okay, now this is your final answer. They are unlike terms. Very good. All right, so let us take a look at another example right here. Okay, the third example says that negative 2a bracket negative 2a plus 3d. Let us open up this bracket right here. Remember, it's going to be the same approach. This is going to open up this, is going to multiply this, okay? And this negative 2a is also going to multiply positive 3d. Okay, let us multiply out now. Negative 2a times negative 2a right here. Take note, negative times negative right here is going to be positive because these are like signs. Okay, like signs. So it's going to give you positive. Remember, we mentioned that right here. Like signs. We mentioned that right here. Like signs, or this one right here. Negative times negative gives you positive. Okay. So in that case, we have negative times negative, positive. 2a times 2a, that is going to be 4a squared. 4a squared, okay? That's that about that. Now the next thing is to do this side of the multiplication. Negative times positive, that is negative, that is unlike signs. 2a times 3d, that is going to give you 6ad. 2a times 3d will give you 6ad. So the final answer is plus 4a squared minus 6ad, which you can rewrite very well. You can rewrite to be 4a squared because this is positive 4a squared, and we know that because this is positive, it can also be an invisible positive, right? So I can rewrite this to be 4a squared minus 6ad. Because 4a squared is same thing as plus 4a squared. Okay, very good, guys. Let us take a look at another example right here. This example says that negative 5a plus b, close the bracket, open another bracket, negative 3a. Very good. This is also pretty much the same as what we have been doing. Okay, so in the case of this also, you're going to use the distributive property because this means this right here multiply by this right here. Okay, so now how do we go about that? So that means negative 5a is going to multiply negative 3a, and positive b is going to multiply negative 3a. Okay, now let us multiply that out. Negative 5a multiplied by negative 3a. So we're going to have negative times negative. That will give you positive. Okay, 5a times 3a, that will be 15a squared. Very good. Now we have done that part. The next one is plus b multiplied by this, right? So this positive sign times this negative sign is going to give you a negative sign. B times 3a will give us 3ab. Very good, guys. Very good. So that means I can rewrite this to be, instead of writing positive 15a squared, you can rewrite it as just 15a squared because it is the same thing. 15a squared is same thing as positive 15a squared. So now you have minus 3ab. Very good, guys. Very good. Now let us take a look at example 5. Example 5. Example 5. 3a plus 2 bracket a plus 2b. A plus 2b. Now in the case of this one, what you need to do right here is to open up this bracket. You realize that this term right here, 3a, is not affected by this right here. So what you need to do first of all, before you simplify this expression, is to open up this bracket. Okay, now let us open up this bracket. Okay, how do we do that? This is plus positive 2 times a. That will be 2a. We have learned that before. We know how to do that, because what we are trying to do right here is you are multiplying this to open up this bracket, okay, and you are multiplying this to open up the bracket. So now positive 2 times a is positive 2a, right? Also positive times positive right here is positive. 2 times 2b is going to give me 4b, okay? And then what do I have here? I have this as 3a. I bring my 3a down right here. So I'm going to bring the 3a down. Okay, very good. So now what do I have? 3a plus 3a. That is going to give you 5a, because they are like terms. They are like terms, right? Plus 4b. 4b is an unlike term. So you bring down this plus 4b. Right now there is nothing you can do anymore. So this is my final answer. Let us take a look at one more example. Example 6, which says that 10x minus 8 bracket 3 minus x. How do we solve this? Again, for us to open up the bracket, we will only consider negative a to open up the bracket, okay? So we are going to multiply this right here and also multiply this right here, okay? Now what do we do? To solve this, we can say negative 8 times 3, and remember this 3 right here is a positive 3. It's a positive 3. So we can say negative times positive. Those are unlike signs. It's going to give me negative 8 times 3. It's going to give me 24. It's going to give me 24. Very good. Okay. Now let us multiply this part. Negative times negative, right? Those are like signs. Is going to give me positive. 8 times x is going to give me 8x. And what do you have here? This is 10x. I can bring down 10x, okay? Now you can simplify this further, because you can have like terms here. If you take a look at this, you realize that this is 10x and this is positive 8x. Those are like terms. So what do you need to do? You bring them together, okay? We'll bring them together. So I'm going to have 10x. This is plus 8x. You bring it right here, okay? And then this is negative 24. So I'll have minus 24. Okay, very easy, guys. 10x plus 8x, that is going to give me 18x. Then you have negative 24, because that is an unlike term, because you cannot add 18x and 24 together. Neither can you subtract them from each other, okay, because they are unlike terms. I hope you guys understand this fundamental concept that we have introduced to you in this class. All right, guys, I will see you in the next class, where we're going to be looking at more examples, or I would say advanced examples of removing brackets. See you in the next class. Bye.